In the heart of ancient China, a poet once roamed the mountains and rivers, capturing the beauty of the natural world and the complexities of the human soul. His name was Li Bai, often called the Immortal Poet. His verses have echoed through centuries, inspiring readers with their grace, freedom, and timeless elegance. But who was Li Bai, and what made his poetry so extraordinary? Li Bai was born in 701 AD during the Tang Dynasty, a golden age of Chinese culture and poetry. While his birthplace is debated, some say Sichuan, others say Central Asia, what is certain is that Li Bai grew up immersed in a world of cultural exchange, philosophy, and literature. Unlike many scholars of his time, Li Bai was not just a poet. He was also a swordsman, a wanderer, and a romantic. From an early age, he rejected the rigidity of the imperial court and sought inspiration in nature and freedom. Li Bai's life was a journey, both literal and poetic. He wandered across China, seeking wisdom from Taoist sages, sharing wine with strangers, and writing verses inspired by the beauty of rivers, mountains, and the moon. His poetry often celebrated the fleeting joys of life and the boundless freedom of the human spirit. Among blossoms, a single jar of wine, no close friends here, I pour alone. I lift my cup to invite the moon, turn to my shadow, and we become three. This poem, Drinking Alone Under the Moon, reflects Li Bai's unique style, combining vivid imagery, personal longing, and philosophical depth. Li Bai was not alone in his poetic journey. He was part of a circle of poets, including his famous friend and occasional rival, Du Fu. While Du Fu's works often reflected social concerns and the hardships of life, Li Bai's poetry soared with a sense of romanticism and freedom. The two poets admired and influenced each other, and their contrasting styles represent the richness of Tang poetry, a balance of grounded realism and unbounded imagination. Despite his disdain for authority, Li Bai's talent brought him to the Tang imperial court, where he briefly served Emperor Xuanzong. The emperor admired Li Bai's genius, but the poet's free-spirited nature clashed with court politics. One famous story tells how the emperor once asked Li Bai to write a poem. Li Bai, allegedly drunk at the time, composed a masterpiece on the spot, but his irreverence and refusal to conform soon led to his dismissal from the court. Li Bai spent his later years continuing to wander and write, even as political turmoil shook the Tang Dynasty. Though his life was marked by moments of poverty and exile, he remained true to his poetic ideals. Legend says Li Bai died while trying to embrace the moon's reflection in the river, a fitting end for a poet who spent his life chasing beauty and transcendence. Li Bai's poetry has stood the test of time. His verses are memorized by schoolchildren, cherished by scholars, and celebrated worldwide for their beauty and emotional depth. Through his words, Li Bai captured the essence of life, its joys, sorrows, and fleeting beauty. He remains not just a poet, but a symbol of freedom, imagination, and the eternal quest for meaning. Li Bai once wrote, "Heaven gave me talents, and they shall be heard 1,000 miles away." Indeed, his voice continues to echo, connecting hearts across time and space. What's your favorite Li Bai poem? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through his life and legacy, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more timeless stories from history.